Bonjour, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Intoxicated Sports Report.
I like what you did there.
I'm Emerson Hip, as always, Gage Smoji.
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day as well.
Who is the most important woman in your life? Ever?
Mom.
Yes.
Easy.
Mom.
So
It's
easy.
If anybody else doesn't say mom, that means it's kind of.
Yeah,
It means your mom probably wasn't in your life.
right.
It's probably a mom or a grandma.
Right.
Has to be, right?
I would say,
Sister.
yeah, non-mom would probably be like my Aunt Elizabeth or cousin Paige and Callie,
Yeah.
and all my other cousins on my dad's side as well.
Non-mom for me is my grandma. I love my sister to death, but
You're not as tight as you are with grandma.
well, it's just like, grandma's the OG. You know what I
Right.
mean? Grandma's been there. Grandma's helped a lot throughout the years, so
Yeah.
it's definitely grandma second, and then Drew's third.
There you go.
Love Drew, sister. That sibling. You don't know anything about sibling love, but
I
it's
don't.
a little sibling love.
Yeah,
So
I have so many cousins, so that kind of makes up. For
no,
it.
you have, and I don't have a lot of cousins.
Right.
I don't have any. Oh my God, I don't have any first cousins
Really?
that I know.
Oh, right.
Because
Could be long lost.
yeah, like my dad's full brother doesn't have any kids. Mom's brother, passed away, so I don't have any really first cousins. I have cousins I consider cousins,
Right.
but they're not technically first cousins, but they're my cousins.
Right.
So
And of course, we love Ashley and Zoe. Great
yeah,
women.
and
Our lives.
Devin. I
And
love Devin.
Yeah, of course.
Devin's
Do you?
there.
I'm kidding, Devin. I love you too.
Yeah. How to throw the International Women's Day in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always love giving the ladies love.
I feel like we probably did this last year, but favorite females in sports, or we might have done this on like women in sports.
We've
or
talked
something like
about
that.
this.
Yeah.
I don't
I
really.
mean, Jenny Finch was always a badass.
I've always kind of like.
Lisa
I've always
Leslie.
kind of like Candace Parker.
Candace Parker's a good one.
Candace Parker's
Yeah,
cool.
she's pretty good on TNT.
She's really
too.
good on TNT.
Yeah.
Who else? What about like women in rock and roll?
Ooh,
Courtney Love?
Joan Jett.
Joan Jett,
Courtney Love. Fuck that bitch.
the
a
original
murderer.
bassist for the Smashing Pumpkins, badass.
Is she too? I didn't know that.
Don't know her name, but
Yeah.
she's badass.
Whatever Haley, what's her face that sings for
Paramore.
Paramore? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I know we're missing some major ones.
Yeah. But fucking Gwen Stefani.
Gwen
Oh my
Stefani.
god.
Gwen Stefani.
She's number one.
Yeah, we had the. Did you see her too? Did you see her at Bottle Rock?
Oh yeah.
Had the absolute pleasure
Yeah. She was looking nice.
of seeing her at Bottle Rock. And No Doubt, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're.
I'll throw the band in there.
They're cool.
I'm more worried about Gwen Stefani than anybody else.
So what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Napa Smith Golden Gate IPA. Shout out to Garrett who brought these from work.
Yep. Do they taste fine?
Yeah, I like them.
Because they're out of date.
Are they?
They're like 6 months past.
No shit.
Yeah. But honestly, that doesn't really mean everything.
I-
If it's something like a year or plus, like they can go south, especially like IPAs.
It's
but-
not something that, now that you say it,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm just thinking it now, it still tastes good.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually it takes really a long time for it.
Even if this was fresh, this can,
Mhm.
I would say it's not as good as tap beer.
Tap beer.
Tap beer,
Yeah.
it's so good. I love tap beer.
Yeah.
I do love canned beer.
Shit.
I'm a canned beer guy.
I do.
I'm a canned Corona guy. I'm a canned Sierra Nevada Pale Ale guy. I'm also a canned. I'm missing one. Bud Light, Budweiser.
I'm a big bottle guy myself.
Are you
even like light beer? I like.
Are
it
you like
in
a
bottle.
Budweiser bottle guy?
Well, you know what? Miller Lite's really good in the bottle. You never see it, but it's good in the bottle. And we have had our Modelo arguments.
Modelo's the one I meant. Modelo in the can is better.
I
Sorry.
think you're so wrong.
That's the one. That's the one I forgot about. Modelo in the can.
But anyways, I on the other hand, I'm drinking a Manhattan. Very very different than beer.
Very on brand for you though.
It's a nice stomach settler. I'm feeling a little bloated today.
The best part of the drink might be the cherry at the end.
Cherries are nice.
The cherries-
Black
cherries
cherries are a big key to a good Manhattan. If you've been following us for the last couple of weeks, you probably understand why I started our episode with Bonjour. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. What else do we have on tap today, Gage?
We have NFL news. There was, the NFL loves to be
Yes.
in the mix of
They're
things.
they're prima donnas. Always attention whores.
We got a lot of NBA, which we're trying
Yep.
to,
Gonna do our first
Gonna-
NBA focus
yes.
is what we're gonna
Yes,
call it.
exactly.
And contender rankings.
and of course the day that we try to focus in on the NBA, the NFL is like,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
let's pump the brakes.
Yeah,
Let's pump
we got
the
some
brakes a
shit
little
for
bit.
you. I watched Colin today. He didn't talk anything other anything about anything other than Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson.
Well, I
today,
mean,
so.
he loves both of those guys.
But he's literally spent 3 hours.
Actually, he doesn't really love Rodgers, but he
he just loves talking.
he
quarterbacks.
loves Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he does love.
He, I don't know if he loves a player more than Russell Wilson.
He's probably his favorite player. Yeah.
Maybe
He loves Steph Curry actually quite a bit
he
too.
loved Tom Brady a lot, and
Yeah.
LeBron.
And
obviously.
LeBron, yeah, he does love LeBron.
That's all we got today.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. So soccer is our first topic today, and we let the fans speak for us and choose our club. It's going to be Team ISR. They also have a nice acronym for their.
I was gonna say the acronym's perfect.
Yeah, Paris Saint Germain, which I'm saying as white as possible
That's fine.
because I'm not gonna pretend to be French.
Well, I'm gonna.
Because-
Yeah. Do you respect people who say it white? Like when you go to like a Mexican restaurant, are you gonna say the stuff
I
on the
would-
menu like white guy? You're gonna say it. Or
Oh,
are you gonna
well,
try to mix it up?
I
you
can
know?
roll my R's pretty decent, so
Okay.
So I do like to, and I think it entertains the like if the server is Hispanic, I think it's.
I think that
I work with a lot of Hispanic people too, and I think they like it as well. So
I
that's
think they
what
think we're dumb.
they probably do a little bit. They probably laugh, but they
might
find it entertaining.
But they
as
might
well.
appreciate the
At
us
least the
trying.
effort.
The effort,
yeah,
yes,
exactly. So Paris Saint Germain is the team that won. Kind of a shocker, actually. I really thought Madrid was going to win the finals
Because
of
in
our
the
bracket.
voting, Madrid was up big.
Going into, so we started it the afternoon of, I think it was Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Going into Friday, when there was still some time left, I think Madrid had a 10-8 lead. And I don't want anyone to think that we rigged this. I didn't tell anyone how to vote in any
No.
of the rounds.
No.
But they got 3 votes on Friday, and Madrid got none, and took it 11-10. So,
And we appreciate everybody voting.
yeah, that was fun.
A lot of votes.
Um,
More votes than I thought we'd get.
that too, and it was funny because the first day I think had a lot of draw because it was just the first round,
Exactly.
and we got more votes, and it kind of in the middle it kind of got a little dry, but
People got things to do.
right, exactly, and doing it every day I think kind of got a little
Exactly.
drawn out, but yeah, glad everyone was able to get in on that, and PSG is our team. We're gonna have to learn a little French.
I'm gonna say I'm a rookie to the game.
You got any favorite French like sayings that we use in America? Mine is rendezvous, s'il vous plaît.
What's that? Oh man, it's the one that's like, let's have a threesome.
Oh,
Like-
wait, I think I know that one.
It's like Dulu, or
Let's look it up.
I don't want to botch it. You figure it out.
Threesome in French.
There was a song with like Christina Aguilera and Pink and fucking like Lil Kim.
Well, let's say trio. Maybe let's try Let's Have a Threesome.
Can I even count it as my favorite if I can't say it though?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend I can say this.
But everyone
I
knows the
think I
saying
know what you're talking about. Yeah. So yeah, there we are.
Yeah. Also, French related, like I told you already, Rugrats in Paris.
Rugrats in Paris.
A classic.
Yeah.
It's a classic. Who doesn't like the Eiffel Tower?
Eiffel Tower's great, and Eiffel Tower's in the logo of the team.
I've never even been close to France.
Yeah, me neither. We might have to go now.
I would like to.
That'd be sick.
If we
If we go to a game,
Dude,
that'd be
forget
wild.
about
That'd be wild.
that would honestly, if we did that, a highlight of my life.
Yeah. Maybe now we need to create a logo revolved around
PSG,
PSG.
like an ISR.
Yeah.
Oof, now you're thinking, my guy. Now
Might
you're
have to
thinking.
scratch that T-shirt we just put together.
Hey, it's not a bad idea. Hey, copyright infringement?
Fuck it.
Right? Fuck it. No,
it-
this is cool. I'm
Yeah,
stoked.
I'm excited.
Because Madrid, if we got Madrid, I'd been like, of course.
Yeah.
Like PSG, I've heard of,
Right.
but it's cool that we didn't get.
Right. And like, and we love Sal for this whole
Yes,
kind of.
and this is all this
Yeah.
is Sal's idea.
Yeah, I mean, I would think we came up with the whole like let the fans pick it together, but Sal wanted us to talk more about soccer, and not that I didn't want to give in to him, but I did like at the same time I didn't because it would just be too easy to just talk about his team, which
Yeah.
we can factor them in at points as well.
I might have to look
They're
at some.
top club.
I might have to look at some PSG gear.
Yeah,
Like I told the fans, this might be the team I root for the rest of my life.
yeah,
Because I have had no other reason to root for anybody else.
yeah.
To be
I'm not
quite
gonna
honest.
lie, I was hoping that we'd get an English club just because they're the most broadcasted league.
And this isn't an English club.
No, this is a French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Paris.
oh, you mean I see what you mean.
Right, yeah, a team from England
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
because they're the most broadcasted league
Yes.
in the U.S. But
And
that's
Real,
all right.
and Real Madrid is
Spanish.
okay.
Yeah.
See, I told I'm
Hey, we're
I'm
learning
trying
together.
to learn, I'm trying to
We're
learning
together. So quick history on
Sal's,
PSG.
Sal's probably laughing at me right now.
Yeah,
big time.
he's like you're at full
He's
age.
like this fucking white boy right now. There's no idea what he's talking about.
So yeah, quick history. I actually found this out today. PSG was founded in 1970. I thought they were a much older club than that,
Okay.
given their dominance in the French leagues. They are 9-time League One champions.
So they have 9 rings. No.
Well, I guess you could say that. I don't know what they hand out for championships in soccer.
So like 9 times.
So League One is the top tier league in France. And
So
they've
it's
won
like
that.
it's like the World Series or like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they don't do a true like playoffs. It's just one season.
Okay.
The playoffs for them is the Champions League, which PSG has never won a Champions League, but they were runners up a couple years ago.
So have they been the best in a season for a team 9 times?
They've been the best in France.
In
the
France.
French league, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it's good?
It's a good run.
Okay, yeah.
9-time champions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice.
I don't know who has the most, but
Gotcha.
9 times is pretty good. They've only been around for 52 years. So I think they've only been in the League One for 45. So yeah, so they were Champions League runners up. That's their best finish back in 2020. Their current top players, we got Messi. Oh boy.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean we got old Messi, but he's still good.
It's messy.
Still good. We got Mbappe, who unfortunately he's one of the best young players in the world. He might be leaving this summer because his contract is up.
Yeah.
And then we have Neymar,
The flopper.
the flopper, James
Dude,
Flop.
dude flops.
It's all right. He's a quality player.
He's,
So
you know, he's good. He's good.
honestly, I didn't realize he was already 30. I thought he was still younger, but
How old's Messi?
I think he's like 34 or something like that. 33, 34.
And these guys all start when they're like 16, huh?
I mean, yeah, they'd probably get into the top club at 18, 19 years old,
Okay.
something like that. So our PSG is currently first in League One right now with a 13-point cushion over Nice.
Love that.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting off hot.
Love that.
And there's I think only 11 games left, so we probably got that in the bag. So we're going to get number 10 this year.
Wow.
Just like that. And PSG is resuming play in Champions League tomorrow at noon against Real Madrid, no less.
Wow.
We have, it's the second leg, and PSG's got a 1-0 lead over Madrid right now.
Sal, how you feeling? How you feeling?
That's going to be a good one. We're going to be talking shit. He's not even know yet.
He's
we picked
He's gonna
PSG.
find out tomorrow.
Like mid-game.
Yeah. Oh, so it's on. Okay,
It's
gotcha.
on at noon, yeah. We probably won't even get this posted until the afternoon, so.
Okay.
But yeah, looking forward to watching that. I know you're going to be at work, but I'll keep you updated.
Please. Well, I'm trying to think of if I go on the ESPN app, what do I go under? Like what?
Well,
category?
it's on CBS.
No, I
Oh,
mean
you're talking about following? Just go to, I think Top Soccer will get
Okay,
you there.
gotcha.
And there's even one that says, there's like a section that's UEFA Champions League.
I'm not gonna be able to watch it. I just want to, maybe
keep
look
up.
at the score. Yeah.
Right.
See, look at me. I'm already a fan.
Hey,
PSG.
yo, PSG.
ISR, PSG. You know the
It
vibes.
flows.
You
It
know the
flows.
vibes.
I like their colors too. They're navy blue and red.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they rep either Qatar, I think it's Qatar Airways on their jersey.
Okay.
Either that or Fly Emirates, I can't remember.
I might have to go to the fucking, the Coliseum here in town.
Snag something.
They probably got some PSG.
You gotta be looking for something coming through the pipeline at
I know, at work.
At work.
I saw some, I'm gonna botch it, but Juventus? Is that,
Juventus?
I saw a shirt a couple weeks ago,
Nice.
and I was like,
Was it just a T-shirt?
It was just a T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of tore up, and I was just like, yeah. I looked already. I'm like, oh, they're out of it. So. No, I'll keep it out for PSG for
Oh
sure.
yeah. All right. So juicy NFL news. Amari Cooper is expected to be cut by the Cowboys. Your thoughts? Where do you think he lands?
Originally, I thought this was a good move because get rid of a guy a year early than a year late.
Right.
Kind of the Bill Belichick type thing.
Yeah, and they got some cap issues they got to work around.
It's gonna suck because I think Dak's gonna really hurt. It's gonna hurt him a little bit.
Right.
Where is he gonna land? I've heard New England.
I've heard New England too. I think that's a good fit. I think also Indianapolis would not be a bad fit because they need receivers, and even I don't know where he is on terms with the Raiders, but the Raiders could use him too.
Go back to the Raiders.
Right.
So it's gonna suck seeing him go.
Right.
But he was good with the Cowboys.
It's pretty well documented. Dak's drop off when he plays with Amari Cooper versus without. So I think that's going to be a huge loss for them. I get the money situation though, and he had not his best year last year.
No.
It wasn't a terrible year, but not his best.
No.
And did he deal with some injuries too last year?
Yeah, after that New England game, the last touchdown, the winning touchdown pass against New England, that's when he fucked up his calf.
Right.
Christian McCaffrey is drawing trade interest.
Ooh.
Your boy.
Yeah.
What team should be interested? You think?
Well, it's kind of tough because
Given the contract and injuries.
right, because his contract is, I think, the largest. I think he's got the largest cap hit, or one of the largest among running backs, and he's only played 10 games the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he really. Yeah, I had him in fantasy. Believe me, I know.
Yeah. I mean, me too. In my dynasty league, no less. Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to just assume that a 2-year thing is like not is going to be what you expect, but it's hard not to. It's hard to overlook that.
I mean, if I'm the Panthers, I'm trying to keep this guy.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really looking to trade him, but I guess they've been receiving some calls. I'm not even really sure who would take this on. There doesn't seem to be.
Because he got paid recently, right?
Yeah, he's on a pretty large contract right now. I think his cap hit in a couple years is going to be 17+ million for a running back, which is a lot. He is only 26, so it's not like he's old, but he's a lot of times you see running backs, especially injured guys, they tail off, before they turn 30. I don't know. I think honestly the Patriots would be kind of an interesting fit.
I thought Patriots.
Yeah, I think they could use a dynamic player like him.
Should he consider changing positions?
Well, I have a bold prediction lying on that, and him becoming a wide receiver.
Do you?
Yeah, that's the point. Sure.
On this podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
I'm pretty damn sure. I have to go back, but I
don't
know I made something.
I don't have it on my notes.
I can go back in history and
No,
find it.
I might have missed that one.
Yeah, but I would not. I think if he's smart, he will think about it.
Less contact.
Yeah, and to be a slot, he would probably be a slot receiver. To be a slot receiver, you don't have to be that fast. So, yeah, I think Patriots would be a good fit. Right
Patriots.
now.
Yeah, I was thinking Pats.
I mean, there's been talk about the Niners. I don't really see why they would need him. It'd be kind of a waste of money.
You already have Debo as your running back.
Right. Calvin Ridley. This is some big news. Calvin Ridley is suspended for the entire 2022 season for gambling on NFL games. What do you think about the suspension length?
I think it's fair.
Yeah,
I think it's fair.
I think so too.
It's
I could see half a season.
This is just bad judgment.
It looks really awful.
When he was doing this, did he not have any thought process of this could come and bite me in the ass?
His name was on the account that he used. First, dumb as fuck.
At least use an alias.
Right.
Right?
And I'm pretty damn sure when you're going through Ricky symposiums, that's part of what they tell you absolutely do not do. Do not bet on games. Doesn't matter if you're involved or not.
The only thing I can think of when I think of him betting on games is Pete Rose.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can think of. And like how Pete Rose got dealt with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's not Pete Rose when it comes to caliber of player at all.
Right. But Pete Rose is an easy Hall of Fame player that's being, essentially banned.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL is doing this, whole season length suspension as a, don't do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
nobody
100%.
else do this, or else this is what's going to happen.
100% what it is.
And I bet you, if Calvin Ridley were to get busted again,
Yeah.
he's done.
Oh, he'd be
Or
banned.
he's done.
He'd be banned for sure.
Forget about it.
What do you think about the idea of not the idea, but just the comparisons to other suspensions like, domestic assault getting far fewer games?
It's not a good look.
It does seem weird. It does seem weird, but I think, like you said, it's just basically to completely end the idea of doing this.
Yeah, it's
Get it out of your. Don't even think about it.
I mean, it's a tough question to answer because there is no right. I don't think there is. I don't know how to answer the question.
Yeah. When you think about it that way, it's hard to decide what's fair.
Yeah, and I would think the NFL over time, when it comes to more domestic violence cases, can learn from what they should have done more in the past and bring it to the future.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it really is tough.
It makes it seem like the NFL cares about itself more than it does people.
Oh, 100%.
And I know it does,
100%.
but it's not a good look for the NFL.
Mhm.
You should care about others as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the next suspension for a domestic violence situation should be at least 10 games.
It should be longer than what Ray Rice.
Yeah, that 2-game suspension was a joke.
I mean, you could say it was a life suspension because he never came back.
True. Yep.
So,
Yeah, his
but I guess
reputation was fine.
but Kareem Hunt got back in the league, so
Right.
it was just a weird,
And Adrian Peterson too. I mean, his was like a
like a
child,
so,
but that's still not good.
No.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's a tough question. It's
That's
tough.
a tough one.
I think Roger Goodell needs to really figure it out.
Yeah.
Which is easy for me to say because I'm not the commissioner.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers re-signs with the Packers today.
Yeah.
This man got paid $200 million over 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it's the richest contract for a quarterback ever.
Easily, yeah. And
Probably for
he did come out and say that the numbers that have been leaked are not true, but I'm sure it's going to be something close to this. And there was a number reported that the contract was guaranteed $153 million, which is outrageous.
I'm surprised that the money. I'm not surprised that he's still with the Packers though.
I'm not surprised about any of it. I think Aaron Rodgers is naturally a little bit selfish and greedy. Doesn't really care about anybody else. Yeah, not surprised at all. And I mean, I don't get why he would even leave the Packers. I know this contract and any contract that they give to a quarterback, because that's the way money is for quarterbacks these days, is going to be tough to build around. But quarterback's the most important part, and he's one of the best in the league.
You guys think it doesn't matter because the Packers don't build around him anyways.
Yeah, they suck at it. I mean, they draft okay, but they don't
Yeah.
they don't go get guys for him. Yeah,
And the Packers. If we play the Niners in the playoffs again, they're not going to beat them.
can't wait.
You know what I mean? So, but good for Aaron Rodgers because he got that bag,
Yeah.
and we all wish
I don't blame him.
we all wish we
Yeah.
could make $200 million over a 4-year span.
Absolutely.
So,
This is the biggest.
well, this also means the Cowboys for sure over the next 4 years will not make it to the Super Bowl. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I think that's a given anyways, but this is just the cherry on top.
Yeah, cherry on top, nail in the coffin. All right, biggest news of the week.
This
This dropped today as well as the Aaron Rodgers news.
I
Russell
was-
Wilson.
No, go for it.
Russell Wilson's going to the Broncos.
He's going to the Mile High City, baby.
Yeah.
Mile High Russ. You
Yeah.
kidding me?
This is going to be interesting.
I was on my break at work, eating my banana and my pear, not at the same time, but simultaneously,
That would have been something to see.
both at the same time. And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, this is massive.
Shout out to John Elway for trying to pull the same shit with Peyton Manning. Like, let's get an older-ish. I mean, Peyton Manning was a lot older.
Right. Yeah,
Let
Russ
me-
has got a good amount of time left in his career.
Let me try to get a quarterback who's already won.
He's seasoned.
Bring him here because the Broncos have. Everyone says they have a good team.
Yeah,
They're good.
I believe they do. The Seahawks, I really think, got absolutely fucking shafted
They got
against.
fleeced.
I mean, Drew Lock, not gonna play beyond this year with the Seahawks. The best part of this is Noah Fant, who is a good young tight end. Still developing them. And then they got 2 first-round picks, which are good. The Broncos are going to be good. So those first-round picks are going to come late in the draft. So,
I bet
with the exception of this year's, I think is already.
I bet Pete Carroll's done after this year.
I would not be shocked at that either.
I bet he might be done before this season starts, and this is why they did this. Because Russ maybe already knows that Pete's not coming back, and I'm not playing without Pete here, and I'm going somewhere else. Don't leave me here to rot.
Well, and another thing is that recently Pete Carroll said we have no plans to trade Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So maybe he's out of the loop and he's going to get canned now. The only thing about firing a coach now, though, is now you're behind the 8 ball in the head coaching search because everyone else has got their coach.
I'll give Pete Carroll a full year,
Yeah.
like this full next year, and
Yeah.
then he's done in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it coming like sometime late in the season if they're out of it, which they probably will be. with
Also, the
this roster.
Seahawks, they're going to be winless in Seattle because they're not going to win a lot of games this year.
Yeah,
You've heard of sleepless in Seattle. This is winless in Seattle because they're going to win
it's going to be a tough year,
very little games.
especially in that division.
They traded away the greatest player in their franchise history.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's hard to
You
argue.
could say Steve Largent,
Yeah.
really good. But Russell Wilson's got to be the most important player in the franchise history.
Yeah, got a Super Bowl ring, and it's funny how their relationships sour. Like you should value a guy like this. I mean, it's kind of similar to the way the Packers have maybe not valued Aaron Rodgers the way that he feels he should be. But
If I were to have told you after that first, or the only Super Bowl win the Seahawks had, that would be his last one in Seattle, the Seattle era for him,
Right.
would you believe me?
probably not. I mean,
I know they were this close. to
they
the second one.
yeah,
they were
should have
they
had
were
a
this
second
close.
one.
But
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
it's shocking. This was shocking to me.
Yeah, I think, and this is obviously massive for the Broncos.
Man. Talk about the AFC West.
And the AFC as the whole is
crazy.
loaded. I mean, where do you think they stack up after this trade?
in the AFC West or in the
Or just
AFC?
AFC overall.
I gotta see it first.
I'm kind of with you.
I'm not going to put them above a lot of teams just because they have Russell Wilson. I got to see him play.
I think
It helps.
Yeah, their potential is Super Bowl bound.
Yes.
It's absolutely Super Bowl bound. But I would say they're probably the fifth best team. I would say I would still keep the Chiefs, based on continuity. I'd still keep the Chiefs, Titans, Bills, and maybe even the Bengals ahead of them.
You got to give the Bengals benefit of the doubt because they are the AFC champions.
Right. But I think they're better than the Raiders and the Chargers, who are both playoff
So you
contenders in the
think
West.
they're automatically right now because of Russell Wilson the second best team in the AFC West?
Yes. I mean, they have the second best quarterback. Justin Herbert's a really good player too, but he hasn't developed quite to that level yet. And I believe they're going to beat the Chiefs at least once this year, and they could win that division.
Russell Wilson, the Broncos play in Seattle this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Also, they play the Niners.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So is Russell Wilson going to smack that ass?
No, the
again?
Broncos are going to whoop the Niners' ass.
I know as a Niner fan, you got to be happy. You got to be.
Yes. Hey, Russ,
Happy.
peace.
You got to be. Every Niner fan today should take a.
We're all rejoicing.
Yeah, take a nice breath because it's over.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks. You guys are gonna beat the Seahawks twice this year. Unless
If
something
we don't, we're just cursed.
or you have injuries.
Yeah, that too.
You guys should beat the Seahawks twice. For a while.
Yeah, fuck the Seahawks. I'm so glad that happened. I mean, and I gotta think that there's gonna be other star players on that team that are on the trade block now too. Gotta think Tyler Lockett is one of those guys. Maybe even DK if they feel like they can get some good value for him. It's but based on the fact that they didn't try to get a reasonably decent quarterback in return for him means that they're in full rebuild mode now.
The Seahawks will be finishing fourth in the NFC West.
If the only way it doesn't happen is if there's a major injury
Yes.
to one of those other teams.
Yes. You telling me they got Drew Lock?
Yeah, Drew, that's a fucking joke.
I
I
mean-
remember. I don't even know why I was ever high on that guy. Like
You were.
just that much, yeah.
You were. It's all right. It's all right.
We all take our L's.
I have a lot of bad takes on the show, so it's okay for you to have one every now and then.
Honestly, I think a lot of it was revolved around the Broncos having a pretty damn good team to put around them. So you put Russ in that mix. They only lost Noah Fant. They got 3 good receivers.
Von Miller might come back.
Von Miller's maybe coming back, and they already have a pretty damn good defense as well. Bradley Chubb, Patrick Surtain. But then, yeah, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, and Jerry Judy. That's a pretty nice
Hey,
trio
you don't
of
think Von
receivers.
Miller wants to come back now?
Oh, yeah, right?
I mean, the Rams is a good situation too. Don't
Oh,
get
yeah.
me wrong.
But
obviously.
they're probably not going to be able to pay everybody.
So
Yeah. It's going to be, it could be a fun year in Denver. I know one Broncos fan. At least.
Donato.
Donato, yeah.
NFL talk, man. I could.
It's just too juicy. This
Too
fuckers. Like I literally
Oh, we have good amount.
3 days ago, we would have nothing to talk about.
No,
I mean, I probably would have skipped
I'd have
the Cooper and McCaffrey shit.
I'd have some maybe last call shit, but
Right.
not, this is major news.
Yeah, big time.
And it could more could happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're
Between
getting
now and
into-
next
getting
Tuesday
into
or
free
Wednesday when we
agency
do
and
this.
all that. Yeah,
So.
absolutely. All right, let's get to the beef. NBA, we're getting into it now.
We're
We're
trying.
forcing it.
We're trying. Yeah, forcing it. Hey, forcing it
Yeah,
is a good way.
I
to
really
put it.
hope we don't bore you with this. We're trying something new.
We'll go through it quick.
Yeah, we won't be. Try to keep it fun. Keep it fun. We are going to first start with our championship contender power rankings because we just want to lay it out there and then we can kind of explain ourselves over the next coming weeks
Yes.
as we do our NBA focus. So, Gage, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I got
How many teams do you have on your list first and foremost?
on the list I have right now. I have 6.
6. Okay,
One of them has a question mark next to it.
got it.
I got the Bucks, the Suns.
Bucks are number 1.
I
Or
don't
you
have,
just have you
I
don't have
did,
it
no
ranked?
order. Did you do order?
I did do an order. Maybe next week you can.
Okay, yeah, I'll do an order next
Yeah.
week. I have Bucks, Suns. I'm throwing the Warriors in there. I'm
Okay.
doing it. I know they're not playing well right
They're
now.
on my list
They're
too.
not playing well
Yeah.
right now. I'm gonna throw the Sixers in there.
Got it.
I was very, very hesitant.
Okay.
I know James Harden in the playoffs.
I'm a little more. I'm a little more kind with my list. So
Just
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Just isn't that dude?
Right. Fair enough.
I'm gonna put the Heat in there, just because of Spoelstra. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good team.
They're a
but,
very
you know,
good team.
I
have them high on my
I
list.
trust everything around the Heat. You know, it's kind of
Right.
like a a mob type thing. You know,
Yeah.
you have Pat Riley up there, Spoelstra.
Mhm.
I like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's a good player.
And recently, about 45 minutes ago, I put the Nets in there.
Okay.
They're not playing well either.
No.
Everything's weird.
Yeah.
But they got Kevin Durant, top 3 player in the league. I can't.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see how this whole team comes together in the last few weeks of the season.
Who are yours?
All right, so I do have mine ranked, and I have 9 teams actually.
You have
I
9?
got 9. I know it's a little,
Okay,
a little crazy.
well, I feel a lot better than
Yeah.
having. Like, so I had 5 yesterday. I was like, this is a lot.
You know, it's funny because, and I was talking to Gage about this before the show. If we did this 2 years ago, or not 2, maybe 3 or 4, there'd be 2 teams on that list.
Warriors, Cavs.
Warriors and Cavs. Now it's a completely, maybe a third. Maybe you throw the Rockets in there when they were good that one year.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But other than that, it probably would have been 2. This year I got 9, and I think this year is very, very interesting.
It's it's open.
I cannot figure out most of these teams, but I got my list 1 through 9 ranked. I got the Suns are my number 1 team. Bucks number 2. I know that's boring. Both those teams played in the finals last year, but they both look good again. And the Bucks are kind of coming around. I have the Heat actually at number 3.
Okay.
I like their continuity, like you were kind of talking about with Jimmy Butler and Spoelstra, and even bringing in Kyle Lowry and their younger players developing. I got the Sixers at number 4.
Okay.
I really do like the Embiid and Harden combo. Nuggets number 5.
The Nugget. I just can't.
I'm
It's hard for me to imagine it. It's
it's
hard for me to see it.
But I'm really excited about. They're playing pretty good basketball right now. Plus, they're going to get Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back. I believe both at some point.
Nikola Jokic.
And Jokic is having another
Dude,
MVP
he
season.
is so good.
He
And
owns the Warriors.
He's so good for being a doughy guy.
Right.
He's so good.
He's not even Dirk. He's like he's a different level.
You think he's better than Dirk?
I think all
Like an overall player.
All around player. I think he is. Dirk was awesome. He
Dirk's
was
a G.
just so good at his shot, you know.
Exactly.
But I think
He's more of a pure scorer.
right. Jokic. Is
But it seems like
another level.
Jokic scores 45 a night.
Oh, and that dude just owns the boards, and he can dish it like no
Yeah,
other.
he's good. He's good.
I have the Grizzlies at number 6.
You got see the Grizzlies. I can't see it.
You know why? Oh, and we're going to talk about that. I'll skip it, so we'll talk about it in a little bit, and I'll tell you why I like them.
Okay.
I got the Warriors at number 7, Jazz at number 8, and I have the Nets as my last team on there. I almost had the Bulls, but I erased them today because they're falling on their face, and they just don't really have the team. I don't think they're fun to watch, but
I think the way I kind of did it or thought about it was, championship experience and all that. And I know the Sixers doesn't make any sense because they don't have any.
right,
At least when it comes to their star players.
right.
In Miami either, but
The Heat have been to the finals recently, though.
yes, it's like I've seen these teams get there or get close recently. You know what I mean? Like the Bulls was hard for me because of DeRozan. I've seen him in Toronto not do anything.
Right. Even as well as he's playing, I'm with you.
And the Nuggets, like what can I do with the Nuggets? You know,
Yeah.
what I mean, I haven't seen anything close, so I can't expect it.
To me, the Nuggets and Jazz are very similar in that
Jazz, too.
they're just like because you didn't have the Jazz on your list,
No,
right? Yeah, Nuggets and Jazz are very similar in that they've had these star players on their team and they've made some noise, but they haven't even. Well, the Nuggets went to a conference championship.
Yeah.
But the Jazz haven't been yet with this core.
No.
So it's just but I still feel like if things go their way, these teams can win a championship.
I guess I took it more like in my
What do you
notes.
expect
Like
to
in
be
my
there?
notes, I put true championship contenders. Like,
Which
who
is totally fair. And I wanted this to be a very personal list. You don't have to do
gotcha.
it. Do it any way.
Okay, I'm glad. Okay,
any
cool.
way you want.
Yeah. Like I did it. It's tight.
Yeah,
It's tight.
And honestly, I might be peeling teams off as we go these few weeks. You know.
And I might too. Like
Yeah.
who knows? I'm gonna try to watch more basketball. God, it's been tough.
Yeah. All right, so our NBA focus today is going to be on the Suns, Grizzlies, and Warriors. I took the top 3 teams in the Western Conference.
I love that.
Next week will be the top 3 teams in the East, which is still TBD to a degree because it's very tight at the top of the East right
Yes.
now. I think the Heat are the only secure team in that situation right now.
Yes.
So yes, Suns, Grizzlies, Warriors.
We'll start with the Suns. The Suns are 51-13. I didn't know there were like 13 losses.
Yeah, and 3 of those losses have come in recent days.
Yeah.
Or recent
First in the league and first in the Western Conference.
Yep.
I would say their key players are Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton.
Yep, those are their studs for sure.
They have the best point differential in the league.
Yep.
They have in the conference they're 30-9.
That's pretty damn good. So
Pretty
they're
good.
owning the West.
Obviously we already say the defending Western Conference
Yep,
champions. We know
absolutely.
that.
Yep.
Also, another pretty staggering stat is they have 7 players averaging 10 points a game.
That's nice balance on the team
It's
for
really
sure.
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, they've got. I mean, their role players are probably as good as it gets. I mean, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson are great wings.
They got Frank Kaminsky averaging 10.
Is he really?
Yeah, I looked at it last night.
That's funny. I don't even have him as like a key role player. I mean, JaVale McGee's been a great number 2 center.
Yeah.
And even number 1 when Aiton's been out. Shamit and Cameron Payne have been nice guards as well. Yeah, and they're number 3 in offensive rating and number 3 in defensive rating. So I think you put that combo together, that's a pretty damn good team. And the biggest stat of them all, which I think is huge come playoff time, they're 19-9 against teams that are 500 or better, which is the best in the NBA.
So what I did for each of these, I think what I'm going to do for each of teams that we go over, I have 3 questions I'm asking you. You can answer really
Yeah, let's do it.
So my first question for the Suns is, can they get over the hump and win the championship?
I think so. They're my number 1 contender right now.
Can Chris Paul stay healthy?
Well, so yeah, that's a big thing right now because he is not healthy and he's not going to be back.
And he's had a history of not being healthy.
Right at the wrong time.
Exactly. I mean, last year he was fine.
Yeah.
But besides that, like when the Warriors
beat the Rockets.
Yeah.
After they were down 3-2.
And the last one is, do you think the injury to Paul already this year will help him come playoff time?
So that's another thing is it could be a blessing in disguise in that he gets himself right for playoff time. I mean, who's to say he couldn't get injured again? But I think, and he had played I think almost every game, if not every game before he got hurt. So it's probably good to get him a breather at the right time. So yeah, I think the Suns are the team to beat right now.
And their championship odds are plus 450.
Yep. So they're 4.5 to 1 to win it.
Wow.
So tied with the Warriors, I think, for the best.
Yes.
Let's move on to the Grizz. They are 44-22, second in the West. They just overtook the Warriors for that spot.
When I did my notes yesterday,
Yeah.
they were third technically.
Right.
So.
And they won again today, so they're actually 45-22 now. They are number 6 in offensive rating and number 8 in defensive rating. They are the second best team against 500 plus teams at 22-12.
Yeah.
One thing that's interesting about them is in this era of like trying to, teams try to play fast, and so defending the fast break is important, but they are a really good offensive rebounding team. So they make you pay on second chance points.
Obviously, I put key players, but their most known players, at least to me, John Moran
is a stud.
Obviously.
He's a superstar.
I threw Steven Adams in that mix. Steven Adams is a household name.
Yeah, he's a really good
Really
player.
good with OKC.
Yeah.
You also wrote down, which I'm glad because I almost did, is Desmond Bane.
Desmond Bane.
He's been having a really good year.
Yeah.
I looked at his stats yesterday.
I think if you look at that team, he is probably their second most important player.
And then Dylan Brooks I'd throw in there, but I didn't because he's only played 20 games.
Yeah, 20 or 21 games, something like that. And he's expected to be back soon, which will be a nice. I would imagine they'd probably have him come off the bench to start because he is kind of that type of player where he could just be a scorer off the bench until he works himself back into shape because he hasn't played in 2 months pretty much.
Yeah. And he's good. He's a really good defender.
Yeah, he's a really good two-way player. Bane is the same way. Great two-way player.
I remember watching Brooks during one of the tournaments a couple years ago for Oregon.
For Oregon, yeah, he was good at Oregon for sure.
Shout out the Ducks. I know Zoe loves that.
I mean, and even though Jaren Jackson Jr. is not having a very good year, he's another really important player on that team. He blocks shots, crashes the boards with Adams as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're gonna be interesting.
Also, the Grizzlies have 5 players averaging over 10 points a game.
Yeah, they're another team that's very balanced offensively.
Yeah.
Their record versus 500 teams is why I think they are a contender in the West. They've given the Warriors plenty of trouble this year. I would imagine if they meet up with the Suns at some point, that would be a really fun series.
So the questions I have for the Grizzlies are: can you really see them winning the championship, though? Can you really see it this year?
Probably not, which is why I don't have them ranked super high on my championship contender rankings. But like I said, I think if things go right and they play the good teams well, they could do it. They could get there at least.
And I feel like all my questions I have, all 3 of them, are kind of the same. My next one was: are they too young to win the championship?
They are pretty young. I think they're like the 4th or 5th youngest team in the league, which that doesn't help. Usually, championship teams are at least in their prime, if not past their prime.
And going from that is kind of the same thing as: do you trust them in big playoff moments?
Yeah, we're gonna find out this year because they really didn't get a chance to do that last year.
But would you trust them right now in big playoff?
I wouldn't say necessarily. No, probably not. Yeah, and their championship odds are still at 2,500 to 1 or 25 to 1. So that's pretty long odds, but
it would be a great story. Like I said last week, I compared it to like Joe Burrow taking the Bengals to the championship this year.
Hey, what if they match?
It'd be cool.
If they won the West, that'd be awesome for the NBA.
It'd be great for the NBA.
Yeah, I know as much as people say, oh, you want to have the biggest names in the finals. No, who cares?
I mean, John Morant's a
John
big
Morant's
name.
becoming a name.
The Grizzlies as a franchise might not be a big name, but you
Right.
know,
And now the Warriors.
that's your team.
Yep, repping today.
43-22, third in the Western Conference.
They just started their game tonight, which we have on record.
What are they playing?
They're playing the Clippers. Clippers are playing good basketball right now, so it's going to be a tough one.
Their key players, obviously, that everyone
Yeah,
knows. Steph
Steph Curry,
Curry, Clay Thompson, Draymond Green. I threw Wiggins in there. He's an all-star this year.
Yeah, started on the All-Star team.
They have 4 players averaging 10 points a game.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
And you know they've had their role players have kind of dropped off throughout the season. I think injuries to like even I would even say Iguodala's injury situation this year has been a huge role or a huge factor because it's kind of pushed everybody else up the line a little bit, throwing them out of their comfort zone. And Draymond obviously is a huge factor, which he'll be back next Monday is supposedly his target date. Obviously Jonathan Kuminga's development has been kind of
Yes.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
And
All the guys on KNBR love
yeah,
Jonathan.
he's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, his whole game is not even close to being rounded out, but he is a hell of an athlete, and he should be in the dunk contest next year for sure.
They have the second best point differential as of yesterday in the league.
Right. Yeah, and they actually are still the number 1 defensive rated team, even with their defensive struggles over the last.
But they are
Month or so.
2-9 in the last 11
Yeah,
games.
and they've lost 5 in a row. So yeah, they gotta get up to Schneid. I'm banking on a win tonight. Bold prediction? No.
I wouldn't even.
No,
it's
they're
all
at
bold,
home.
Yeah.
There's at least 50-50 odds to win.
And my 3 questions for the Warriors as of right now is: Will their size hurt them come playoff time?
You know what's interesting because
It's been an issue
yeah.
as of late.
So they obviously with Draymond out, they don't defend the paint as well, but they still have the second best defensive rebounding team in the league, which I was shocked to find that out today. But I do think I think Wiseman, even though he's not gonna play a huge role, it will be nice to have his length as an option off the bench. And then when they get Draymond back, that'll help so much. I really can't make too many judgments about this team right now because of Draymond's injury. He hasn't played with Clay all year except for 7 seconds.
I'm glad you mentioned Draymond.
Yeah.
My next question is: Can
Yeah.
Draymond be Draymond coming off the injury?
I think so. I mean, obviously it's a little concerning how much time he had to take off to get healthy, but maybe he was just milking it a little bit and making sure he was 100% before
And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm not a Warriors fan. But I'm cool with any player
being
waiting.
smart about it.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, the Warriors have built a pretty damn good record. Even with this Schneid, they're still number 4 in all the league. So
Exactly. And my last question is Clay gonna come out of this slump? He's not
I
playing.
think he's waiting for
great.
Draymond. They got to get
You think
together.
so?
I think that's going to be huge because when Steph has to be a playmaker, that kind of changes the way the spacing goes. Because you saw when they played Dallas, they double team Steph every time.
Yes.
And you know that might space the floor up to some degree, but when you waste 10 seconds getting the ball to somebody else, then it kind of speeds up the process of the next play, the next action, and it kind of throws you out of rhythm. So once you get Draymond in there, they can double Steph off the ball all they want, and that'll be a different situation. So I'm excited to get Clay and Dre together because we haven't seen that yet. Championship odds are at plus 450, tied with the Suns. This is all according to Caesar Sportsbook, by the way. Tied with the Suns for number 1. So.
Are you surprised that they're tied with the Suns?
A little bit.
I am a little bit.
I mean, I think that probably has a lot to do with the fact that the Warriors had beat the Suns twice this year, and they play one more time, I think.
And do you think they give them
Early April.
the benefit of the doubt of the past championship experience, and
That
the coaching?
that's definitely a huge
Has
factor.
to.
Definitely a huge factor.
Yeah. Because, you know, you had your bold prediction of the Warriors win the championship. I laughed hard on this podcast at you. And then they played really well for a long time.
Well, they get like 18-2 start or something ridiculous like that.
And I was like, fuck, it might happen. And then now it's coming a little more down to earth,
Yeah.
back to earth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these last few weeks are going to be a fun, interesting ride to kind of figure things out. And I think the Nets, who we're about to talk about here in a minute, are another key factor in that. So, Jason asked us to add this into the conversation, and I think we did talk about this.
I've
maybe a few
mentioned
weeks-
it.
a few weeks ago. Do you want to ask a question?
His question was, will the Nets be better off not having home court advantage this postseason, assuming New York doesn't change its vaccine mandate? I think yes.
I think on paper, obviously having Kyrie potentially for 4 games versus 3, yeah, obviously
The
it makes
math.
sense.
The math. Is
I don't know if it really makes that huge of a difference overall. I think if the Nets had more home games, they wouldn't be mad about that either. You know, the comfort level of your role players being at home versus on the road.
But I disagree because I think you need one of your best players as many games as you can in a playoff series.
I mean, no, that's a totally valid point. I think, like I said, on paper that makes more than
Even if he's
sense.
not, even if he's not playing that great because he can't play it that much, but you have to have him there if it's an
Yeah.
option.
Yeah, and
Anybody's gonna have Kyrie Irving there if they can have him,
right.
and they want him there as much as they possibly can.
And the Nets have been so bad with KD out over the last couple months. I mean, they've won I think only 3 out of the last 20 games, so it's really hard to say like what is working and what's not. But I think I don't think it makes a huge difference personally. But I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do decide in New York to do.
I think they're gonna lift.
I think they're going to lift it too. They're going to lift it like right before the playoffs too. It's going to be really stupid.
Adam Silver's gonna be calling everybody
Yeah.
like, "Hey, come on, you gotta do this."
Right. It's going to be definitely controversial. So yeah, that's well, we already skipped it, but that's NBA focus first round. I think, like we said, we'll probably have the not going to make it official, but the Heat will be on next week. I think the Bucks and Sixers will probably be the other 2 teams. Yeah.
Well, because I thought you were doing the top 3 in the
Yeah.
West, and then
We're going to work our way down the standings for the most part, and we'll get to as many teams as we can. We're not going to get to the bottom feeders. They're mostly going to be playoff contenders that we talked about. And that's that. You got any other NBA stuff?
no, I don't.
All right.
No, we don't. What time is it?
Oh, it's time for last call. Jeff Kent and Richard Riley are getting in the way here.
Heads are bobbling over
Yeah,
here.
shout out to the 2002 World Series team, the middle infield.
Oh, should we take a shot?
Oh, you feeling frisky?
Yeah, I kind of am. I'll be feeling a hangover at work tomorrow too. You never know.
I was just looking at that tequila and not thinking good thoughts.
Oh,
but
yeah. Fuck.
we're not doing Pims. We could mix it, see what it tastes like. Pims is kind of sweet.
Nah, how about we? Yeah, just pour. Don't go hefty on
We'll
mine.
do a little happies.
A little hefty.
A little cool little solo cup
That we
shooters.
I got from my work. Shout out. I don't know if I can say that, but hey, we can't sell these at work, so
Yeah,
it's all good.
in the neighborhood.
Last call. I didn't even realize that Coach K's final home game was against UNC.
Well, they always play the rivalry game last.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I was like, man, somebody up above is like, his last game's got to be against
No, yeah,
Duke.
I think every year the last conference game is between the rivals.
Duke lost.
They did lose.
They were winning.
Spoiled
They were winning.
at halftime, yeah.
And
UNC kind of took over down the stretch of the second half.
did you see Jerry Seinfeld was kicking it with Adam Silver this game?
I did see there were plenty of celebrities on hand at the game. Yeah.
I think I saw the most expensive ticket for this game bought was like almost $79,000. Jerry Seinfeld's got that money, but I don't think he's spending that much money.
Yeah, like that's cool, but
That's
I
a
mean,
lot
fucking-
of
seriously?
money. That's a lot of money.
You really riding Coach K that hard?
Also, one of the coolest things I saw about this game is he invited every ex-player that he ever coached to this game.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, and then
There was
almost
a
100
good-
of them.
There was a good amount that showed up. It
Yeah.
wasn't all like
I think it was like
280
90 something.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
That's pretty good turnout.
I mean, Coach K, everyone has respect for Coach
He's
K.
a legend.
He's one of the best ever did.
So I was watching Jalen and Jacoby recently. And
Underrated show, by the way.
It's pretty good,
I don't watch it as much because I don't have cable and all that, but it's an underrated ESPN show.
So David,
I'm glad it's still on ESPN.
yeah, no, it's good. But David Jacoby asked Jalen, "How do you spell Coach K's name?" And he said, COACH capital K. like he was asking how to spell Krzyzewski.
Yeah.
But he said he spelled out Coach K.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny. Because no one in their right mind could spell that blindly.
I could barely spell.
I think it starts with a KRY, but after that,
I'm a terrible speller, as you know.
right? Should we rip this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What else you got for last call? You got anything?
I really don't.
You never. Why do I feel like I'm like a last call whore on this show?
I don't know. I just
I just see things and I'm like, this is cool.
yeah.
I'm gonna say one for last because I know you're not gonna like it. We talked about it.
Actually, I do have one thing, but I'll
Colby Covington beat Jorge Masvidal.
Did see that?
Masvidal.
yeah, Masvidal.
I always botch that name.
Pretty dominant fashion, right? At least down the straight.
Masvidal always looks like he's out of shape when he fights.
Yeah.
It's almost like he just doesn't.
I saw some highlights of Covington putting some blows to him.
I watched this fight and it was all right. I was hoping it got good. You know, they were doing.
Because it did pretty much go the distance. They called it like late in the fight.
No, I went the distance.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So
But Covington,
one.
at that point, you know, he like.
Because he had Masvidal like almost on the
at the
or,
ground,
yeah,
he had him on the ground pretty much the whole
Yeah.
last round.
Right.
And you know me, I'm a knockout guy.
Yeah.
I love seeing guys on their feet knocking somebody the fuck out. I know that's not the UFC's bread and butter.
That's why the heavyweights are fun because they're just that's
I
all
just,
they're going for.
God, I just love knockouts. Like,
Yeah.
when we said this before. Every time I watch a fight of any kind,
Right.
I want to see somebody getting knocked the fuck out, Debo style. You know.
Oh, 100%.
You know.
You just got knocked the fuck out.
I just like it that way. Greg Popovich
Oh,
tied,
yes, I need to
tied your
mention
boy
this.
Don Nelson for most wins of all time. And by the time next week rolls around, I'm assuming
You'll have it.
he's gonna have it.
Congrats.
Congrats. I mean, I'm not gonna get. I mean, they're gonna win one more game in the season. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'll say it's a guarantee.
I heard a quote and it was no disrespect to Don Nelson, but somebody else deserves to have this record essentially because
It is surprising that Don Nelson has it. Because
Yeah.
how long did Don Nelson coach for?
long fucking time. I mean, I want to say probably like 25.
And he coached for
years.
he coached for the Warriors for a majority of
A
that.
good chunk of it. Yeah, he coached for the Mavs too, a couple other teams. I think the Nuggets as well.
Was Don
Maybe,
Nelson the
maybe.
coach of the We Believe Warriors?
Yeah.
Nice. This one's funny. Antonio Brown told TMZ Sports that him and Kanye are dead serious about buying the Denver Broncos.
What?
I think I screenshotted this last night, and now that Russell Wilson's part of the Broncos organization, I don't see this isn't gonna happen.
No, that sounds psychotic. Like those two together, just eek. Look out! Look out below.
And the last thing I wanted to mention, your boy Jack Harlow has been casted in the reboot of White Men Can't Jump. If you haven't seen the original, you gotta see it.
That's the only one you got to see.
I
This is
don't.
gonna be trash.
This screams
Garbage?
Space Jam 2 to me. Not good.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I didn't even see Space Jam 2, but I did not hear good things.
No.
This
is stupid.
When I
Terrible.
saw this on Twitter, or Twitter, Instagram, I was legitimately bummed out because White Men Can't Jump. We can go back to the first couple
You
episodes.
cannot remake it.
Well, it's one of my. Well, I think they're doing a reboot. They're not remaking it. It's a reboot.
So it's like a sequel?
Or actually, I think to me, I think reboots are like something off of that.
Okay.
Because if it was a remake, I think they would say remake of.
Yeah, you're right. But still, I mean, in a way, they're trying to revive it.
Yeah.
But
I don't like this. It's one of my favorite sports movies of all time. It's so
it's
good.
so good.
It's so good. It stars the original stars Woody Harrelson,
and
Wesley Snipes,
Wesley Snipes, yeah.
and it's
It's
it just screams like 1992 is probably when I think it was when it came
Yeah.
out, or 1991.
I think that's the thing is it was just perfect for its era. You can't come out with it now.
And I'll give Jack Harlow. I'll give him some credit. He's one of the smoothest white boys going right now.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he could pull this off.
Yeah, he did ball out. I heard in the celeb game.
I don't see it. I just don't see it.
It's gonna be bad. I mean, movies like that come out nowadays and just don't have the same.
I
Vibe, if you
need
will.
more originality when it comes to movies.
That too. There's so many remakes and sequels of movies coming out that are just pointless these days. Like you can't come up with something yourself.
It's I don't know.
It's kind of embarrassing.
If you haven't seen the original, I think I own it. So ask me if you want to watch it. I got it.
It's so good.
It's so good,
Yeah.
right? You like it.
It's. I mean, it just screams '90s and it's hilarious.
It's so good.
It's a good storyline.
Billy. And I forget what his girlfriend's name is because she's like a somewhat
Oh, yeah.
big name actress in the movie.
She's obnoxious though, but it's hilarious.
It's like
We're
it's
hitting
like
the
her name's Rosie Perez.
And oh, yeah, is her actual name?
His actual name.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
I had to save that for the last call.
not with it.
I knew it was last call worthy as soon as I saw the headline tabloid.
Okay, I got one.
Wow.
thing.
Okay.
I
There
got
we
one
go.
thing. So last year in NASCAR Fantasy, ISR, took me, I want to say at least 24, if not 25 races to get my only win of the season. Took me 3 this year to get my first. I'm really excited about that.
Alex Bowman.
Alex
won.
Bowman the showman. Outdueled your boy Larson in the last
God
lap. That was fucking
damn.
so awesome.
God.
That was a really
damn.
good finish to the race, by the way.
I didn't get to see that last lap or anything like that, but so I saw it was close, and I went to go run to the TV and turn it on. And as I turned it on, it's Bowman won.
Yeah.
I was like, where did Larson?
They were
finish?
literally like side by side going into the final corner, and then I don't really know what happened to Larson, but Bowman just pulled away like easily.
I'm second place in the pool, really early.
Yeah.
I'm happy though. I had 2 guys in the top 10, 1 guy in the top 5, 1 guy
Yeah.
top 2. I'm cool with that.
I don't think I led the standings for 1 second last year,
You might not.
and I'm number 1 for now.
I think Ashley is -2, which we love.
Or she might be -1, but yeah.
-1, -2. That's cool.
She's got a lot of DNFs already this year. Poor thing.
Well-
She'll be fine.
We talk about NASCAR every week. Let's just talk about it every week.
We should just keep it last call, keep it
Yeah,
short,
last
keep it
call,
sweet.
yeah.
I mean, if Denny Hamlin wins, we're not going to talk about it.
Of course, right? Yeah, not to mention. Or Chase Elliott,
Yeah.
not a chance.
Pussy.
Not a chance.
Yeah. Biggest bandwagon in all of sports. The Chase Elliott fan club.
I know a Chase Elliott fan, and he's the worst.
The worst. So there we have it.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know how to say goodbye in French. Let me look that up really quick.
You didn't take French in high school?
Nope, not even close. A little more Espanol.
You take Spanish in
Au revoir.
high school? We've all heard that before.
From James, probably.
You think, was he?
He went to France. Remember we did that little study abroad
Oh,
bullshit?
God, spare me the
Yeah.
time. I can't believe you mentioned that guy's name on our podcast.
Let's rewind real quick.
Okay.
Au revoir.
How do you say peace in French?
Peace.
And
Peace and love and shit. It's spelled P-A-I-X. You enlighten me.
no thanks.
Pakes. It's probably like pie or something
Yeah,
like that.
pie.
Pie.
Bye.